right, metalheads and rockers. I just got this in today. And so today we're going to be throwing it back with Creatures 2 from Brazil's own heavy metal torchbearers, Creatures. Now, they formed in Brazil and fueled by the spirit of classic 80s metal. Creatures delivers a sound rooted in twin guitar fire, anthemic hooks, and that raw, no-frills energy that defined the golden era of heavy metal. If you live for leather, denim, and riff-driven songs, this band is speaking your language. On vocals, we have Mark Brito. Wait, that's that guy. He's got a commanding presence, very old school sounding voice. I mean, he's got the high pitched Rob Halford stuff going on. We got Mathis on guitar, Mathis Caliano, and he's a razor sharp riffs, beautiful guitar solos that he plays throughout this record. Bassist Rick Nunes holds down the low end with a thick driving bass line. Sidney Dweller pounds the kit with the kind of groove that the power that keeps the engine running hot. The main creative force behind this band is Mathis, the guitar player, whose songwriting channels the spirit of classic metal while keeping the sound fresh and alive. And on Creatures 2, that approach hits harder, sharper, and more confident than ever. We're definitely going to check this out. I'm going to go through and just give you my rundown of some of the songs on here and what I think about it, because it's a damn good record. And I think this band needs to be on some soundtrack for Stranger Things. I think if Stranger Things, I don't know if this is like the final season of Stranger Things, but they need to come back. If they do come back, they need to get this band as a soundtrack. Look at that beautiful cover there. That's why I had Mathis on my show last week, whatever. You can check that episode out. It's in my channel. Like I was mentioning to him, I really loved. That's what drew me to the band was the colors, the purples and the kind of aqua green and stuff like that. And really nice packaging on the CD I got. They're on High Roller Records, which is a really great label. Comes in this kind of cool protective cardboard sleeve, and then you pull it out like that. See, woo! Then I also got the vinyl, but it's not coming until February. February, I guess, is probably 2026. And yeah, look at that. And it's got this nice booklet. Comes with a nice book. It's got each of the members there. The lyrics, all the songs. You got the guitar player right there. You got the singer, Mark Brito. He's also got another band called Hellway Train you should check out. Really good band. There's that. There's bass player, Ricky Nunes. I think it's Ricky. It's Ricke. I can't remember Method says it. We say it like Ricky in Brazil. Or in Portuguese, I guess. And there's the drummer, Sidney Dubuela on drums. He's got a cool look. He's got he's like the more glam guy of the band, Yeah, really good book. I mean, they put a lot of work into this, and I love their videos. That's what drew me to them too. They have a really cool video it's called the song called "Beware the Creatures" on here, and it's almost like a little mini movie. They all turned into zombies. Really great makeup going. They turned into creatures. I don't want to say zombies, but the whole name of the band is Creatures. So yeah, so really cool. And I can't stress this enough, that when you find something that you really like, and whether it's a band that's huge and already established or a band that's on its way, it may not be on a big label. And if you love it, just get it and support it and tell everyone about it, because that's how they grow and that's how they move on to the next thing. I mean, this band needs to be playing in America. So the tracks are Inferno. That's how it starts. Devil in Disguise, Night of the Ritual, Beware the Creatures, Dreams, Queen of Death, Pure Madness, Danger, Nothing Lasts Forever, Path of the Night. Then it's got bonus tracks, which is Beware the Creatures, the extended version, because I think the first version is about almost 6 minutes long. Then I believe this extended version goes about 7. Really awesome sounding, good production. Like I said, I was talking about it possibly being a soundtrack to the TV series Stranger Things, because it's got that 80s sound, or I don't know, I asked Mathis about this. Did you grow up on 80s stuff? And he said, yeah, he's very influenced by Dokken, by Yngwie Malmsteen, which you could hear in his guitar playing. His guitar playing is very good. It's very it's so clean and precise, but it doesn't sound rehearsed. It doesn't sound mechanical like sometimes guitar players who do play that way. Me as a guitar player, I'm a very sloppy guitar player. I improv a lot. And that's just, I've always loved like Richie Blackmore and those kind of band or kind of guitar players. They're just kind of all over the place. But I also admire guitar players who can play clean and also sound like it's just that it's really coming from within, and that's what he comes across with. Like it's nice and precise, but it doesn't sound like it's mechanical. It doesn't sound like he sits there and like, you know, works it all single day or takes 8 hours to work it out. It's very fluid. Like, you know, his solos are just very, and they're catchy. You can hear a little Yngwie in there, like just sometimes he does little sweeps and whatever. And sometimes he'll put the top pickup on and give it that little fat sound that Yngwie gets when he puts on his top pickup. Yeah, so his guitar playing is really good. But what I admire is the fact that that's the roots that he comes from, and that's why he's pulling out this 80s sound, because that's just what he kind of grew up on. As you know, obviously he's younger than me or whatever. He's probably like 20, 30 years younger. I think he said he was 27 when I talked to him. So yeah, so I was like, and I'm 30 years younger because I'm 57 if he's 27. So when he was a teenager, probably bands were like Slipknot, you know, there were the big mainstream bands were like Pantera, you know, Korn, bands like that, you know. But while those bands were doing their thing, he was listening to like Judas Priest and Iron Maiden and all those the classic bands that I was listening to in high school, and many of you out there. So yeah, so it comes off as natural. So there's a lot of times when bands try to do the 80s thing, like I said, I mentioned Burning Witches. I feel like sometimes they go a little bit over the top with it, to where it sounds like they're just trying to be like the 80s when it's, but then again, I don't know. Like sometimes they do. Like some songs they sound like that, other songs they don't. But Creatures does it where it just sounds like they just came from that era. And it just sounds so natural, sounds so good. But the beginning song, Inferno, is probably one of the best intros I've heard in a long time from any album. Because you know, and I put that with like, okay, so like I've always considered Dawkins Without Warning on Tooth and Nail album. I always consider like one of the greatest intros to any record. It's the way it starts, and it's just so, I don't know, it just sets the mood so perfect for that record. And then you got Metallica's Battery, same thing. And then on Ghost, a more recent band, Ghost, like Imperium, the beginning intro before it goes into whatever that song is called. Anyway, the beginning of the intro on the Imperium album, which is called Imperium. And it's just these kind of intros that just set the tone, set the mood so perfectly. And this intro that they have called Inferno, it's really guitar based, a lot of harmonies, very nice melodies going, but it's that kind of intro. To me, I put it up there with Dawkins Without Warning, put it up there with Batteries, Metallica, and Ghost Imperium. That's how good. And then it just kicks into the song Devil in Disguise, which you probably heard me play on the, you know, when I played clips, whatever. I could probably play a little clip here. I don't know if it'll get blocked because I'm doing this for TikTok as well, this review. I'll kind of show you kind of what it does. Yeah. I thought I had it. I guess I don't have it. Anyway, I'll show you a little clip of another song. But anyway, so Devil in Disguise, you go on YouTube, you'll check out the video on YouTube, and it just hits really hard. It's like the scream that he does, that Mark Brito does, it's up there, man. And it's just like, it gives me chills whenever I hear it. You know, because and then it goes into Night of the Ritual. Again, more great melodic Dawkins sounding guitar riffs there. Beware the Creatures. Here's a little clip of that. Hear that guitar solo? I mean, it's badass, right? All right, so get out there and get this record. Like I said, I wanted to keep this review under 10 minutes. So every song is a banger. The song, the one standout song for a power ballad is Nothing Lasts Forever. Such a beautiful song. It's great. It talks about your dreams, chasing your dreams, and those dreams don't ever last. Whatever you're doing in life doesn't last forever, but you got to keep moving on and all that good stuff. So yeah, so get out there and get Creatures. And let me show you the cover. Creatures 2. All right. Horns up. Peace.